All heavens sign in from Naruto, Chapter 101-120. Chapter 101 What a complicated ninja world this is. Jiraiya, if you really want to know the purpose of Orochimaru, shouldn't you ask Orochimaru? You ask me who I ask, after all, I am not Orochimaru his father. Nightwind shrugged. Turn around and walk towards the village. He has acquired the psychic spell of Mount Myoboku. It broke through the level of flat cut again. Today's harvest. Yifeng was already satisfied. So, he's ready to get rid of Jiraiya as soon as possible, lest he keep nudging him in his ear. Like this. Yifeng, wait a minute, write me a little more. ... On the way home, Yifeng pondered over the words Toad Wenta warned him. Toad Wenta said that Onishi is not a ninja sword made by humans. What does this mean? Is it a sword made by Otsutsuki? Or a knife that existed before Otsutsuki? Yifeng suddenly thought of a question. The current ninja system was brought to Earth after Otsutsuki Kagaya came to Earth. So, before Otsutsuki Kagaya came to Earth, what is the Earth like? What kind of existence did the three holy lands have at that time? Lots of mysteries. Yifeng felt that there was no way to start. Unfortunately, my system is a dumb system, otherwise, I will definitely be able to figure out a lot of secrets and become more aware of Hokage ninjas than Kishimoto. At this time, the system that has been silent for a long time has made an unprecedented sound. First, this system is not a dumb system, this system is a super sign-in system. Second, this system is only to help the host unlock the airlock and obtain the rewards that are ready to use in the air. Other contents have nothing to do with this system. Third, if the host dares to call this system a dumb system again, this system will shut itself down for you to see. Hear the system's unpredictable complaints. Yifeng's footsteps staggered, revealing a strange look. I thought this system was a samurai master. Look now. Could it be Sister Chu's transmigration into the system? ... In a blink of an eye. 1 month of pre-match preparation time is over. This day, the performance field in Konoha village is very lively. That scene. It is really loud with gongs and drums, firecrackers are blaring, the flag of forbearance is fluttering, and the crowd is full of people. All in all, it's pretty spectacular. Although the game has not yet started. But the audience was already full of melon eaters. Of course. In addition to the melon-eating crowd, there are many Anbu mixed in. But, seems to be useless in the end. Yifeng and Inoshika-cho were already sitting in the audience, waiting for the official game to start. Brother, Hinata is here with Uncle Hiyashi, why don't you go over and say hello to your future husband? Ino said with a smile. Yeah, it seems that Yifeng has never met Uncle Hiyashi alone. We have met many times. Akamichi Choji was eating potato chips and always felt that the two of them were strange, as if they would never meet each other. It's really a little devil, can't you just sit down honestly? And Choji, can't the potato chips keep your mouth shut? Yifeng gave them both a white look. It's really not a big deal to watch the fun. But Yifeng really never met Hyuga Hiyashi alone. The reason is simple. Even though Yifeng is right in line with Hinata. But hopes that one day in the future, he can use a brighter identity to meet Hyuga Hiyashi, not just Yamanaka Inoichi's son. Hyuga Hiyashi must have the same idea. Otherwise, he also wouldn't deliberately avoid Yifeng every time. Sister, that Yifeng is too inconsiderate. Obviously I haven't seen my sister for a month, and I don't know how to take the initiative to come over to greet him. Could it be that I waited for my sister to come and look for him? Hyuga Hanabi pouted a little unhappily. As a boy, just take the initiative to do anything. Otherwise, why do you want boys? Look at you, why are you so excited? As long as Yifeng and I know each other, it's enough. Who is active and who is passive, what does it matter? Hinata smiled nonchalantly and looked at Hanabi tenderly. Who said that? Active and passive are very important. If you think about everything from his point of view, then you will lose in this relationship. Hyuga Hanabi poses as a senior emotional consultant. Ah, little Hanabi, have you read a lot of romance novels recently? In fact, there is no need to decide who wins or loses when you love someone, as long as you can accompany each other at the best time. Hinata smiled. Perhaps Yifeng and Hinata sensed each other's expectations. They turned their heads at the same time. 4 eyes facing each other. Then, the two laughed heartily. Warm each other. This is enough. ... Hey, I'm so envious of Hinata. I can come here with my father, but our father can't come because of everything. Ino sighed. She also obviously wanted to show her progress in public to her father. But Ino Shikacho all have missions today. Can't come with you. Well, today's exam is extraordinarily important, not only the name of Hefeng, the country of fire, but also the wealthy and powerful gold owners of Guojia. As the patriarch of the Ino Shikacho clan, their father was responsible for the security of the entire village after all. Shikamaru said slowly. Elite Jonin appeared in the Yanwuchang. Because there are 2 cage-level powerhouses here. So, under normal circumstances, who dares to come here to make trouble? It is for this reason. The security force in Konoha village has been evenly distributed throughout the village. Thus, it is possible to avoid some accidents, causing the daimyo and the gold master to leave a bad impression on the security of Konoha village, which in turn affects the tendency to commission tasks in the future. Daimyo is really a magical existence. Yifeng muttered to himself. The power of the daimyo is actually not weak. They have a large number of samurai under them, and some sanin as their personal guards. All are elite. Even for a shinobi village like Konoha, it is not an easy task to completely conquer the country of fire. After all, there is more than one Konoha village in the ninja world. Once Konoha-kun clashed with the daimyo, other forces will definitely take advantage of the situation to nibble on Konoha village and the land of fire. Finally, the village of Konoha and the land of fire will only end up in a lose-lose situation. So, the relationship between daimyo and shinobu is very delicate. Doing it right is a win-win. Bad handling, it will be more tragic. ... It didn't take long. The third test finally officially started. 3 generations of Hokage made a simple opening remarks. Then, Shiranui Genma appeared in the middle of the field as the examiner for the third exam. It seems that Moonlight Hayate is still dead. It's a pity. Azuki Yugao is a good girl. Yifeng sighed. Chapter 102 Hinata's special training results. Although Yifeng did not meet Azuki Yugao many times, but Yifeng had a good impression of her. Unfortunately, Yifeng didn't have any reason to save Moonlight Hayate. It is Moonlight Hayate's job to keep Konoha village safe. Killed by Maki. He can only blame him for being inferior to others. In the end, the current Yifeng is not strong enough to do whatever he wants. He also needs to make up some reasonable excuses for his actions. The game officially begins. The first pair to play was Yamanaka Yekas and Hyuga Hinata. The two stood in the middle of the arena. After Shiranui Genma read out the rules of the game, the two of them formed a seal of opposition first, as they did during normal training. Yefeng, please attack with all your strength. My father has given me special training for a month, and my strength has improved a lot. Okay, then I'm going to go. Hyuga Hinata's small face showed a confident look. This made Yifeng feel very gratified. Such Hinata. That's what the Night Wind likes the most. But, all-out attack. Yifeng smiled knowingly. When Hinata grows up, when the two of them are doing some special activities, Yifeng will definitely launch an all-out attack. But now, certainly not. Full attack. Hinata's small body can't handle it. ... The battle begins. Yifeng was the first to move. The two have not seen each other for a month. But the tacit understanding accumulated over the years will not change. Yifeng appeared behind Hinata with the wind shuttle. Hinata also turned on Byakugan instantly, capturing Yifeng's figure. Although it was too late to turn around. But the chakra from the shoulder and elbow counterattacked Yifeng's attack. Drink. A blue 8 trigrams shape looms beneath Hinata's feet. 8 trigrams 64 palms. Hinata directly used 8 trigrams 64 palms to fight with Yifeng. ... In the audience, Hyuga Neji couldn't help frowning after seeing this scene. Guys like Hinata. Can you even cultivate into 8 trigrams 64 palms? Could this be main clan's talent? Even if you were a waste of wood when you were young, can you turn around when you grow up? Hyuga Neji seems to never be able to get out of the spell of the main clan and the separation. Fortunately, he will meet Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto, who can talk about all beings. ... Hinata, your 8 trigrams 60 palms are indeed more proficient, but your special training this month should be more than that. Yifeng laughed. Hinata's 8 trigrams are 65. The night wind is also dodging lightly. Have to say, if you look at it from a viewing point of view, the confrontation between the two this time is very interesting. But in Yifeng's view, if Hinata just wants to cultivate to the current level of 8 trigrams 64 palms, it doesn't take a month at all. So, next, it's the real show time. Of course it's more than that. Yifeng, you have to be careful next time. Hinata's voice fell. I see. A large amount of chakra began to gather in her palm. Immediately after, the gathered chakras changed in shape and turned into 2 big blue lion heads. Robust double lion fist. Yifeng looked at Hinata with interest. Soft step double lion boxing is an advanced physical technique of the Hyuga clan. After launching successfully, Gentle Fist's power and attack range will be greatly enhanced. Although Hinata's current chakra volume cannot inspire a particularly large lion head, but it also doubles the power of Hinata's Gentle Fist. But I want to practice the soft step double lion fist. You must have superb chakra control skills. This is why Hinata chose not to meet Yifeng for a month. Because once she was with Yifeng, she couldn't concentrate at all. How could she possibly learn that extremely difficult physical technique? In the stands, the little friends have been amazed by Hinata's performance. They didn't think of it at all. It turns out that gymnastics can still be played like this. The blue lion head, roaring, seems to contain the will of Hinata, the will to keep up with the pace of the night wind. At this time, Hinata, with a small stature, like a brave lion, rushed towards Yifeng. It turned out to be Robu Shuangshiguan. Only main clan can practice Robu Shuangshiguan. Why is she able to learn Hyuga's supreme boxing skills even with her aptitude? Is it because she was born in main clan? Hyuga Neji bites Kiba. As a disciple of the Split family, he couldn't accept main clan's superiority over the Split family. In particular, he has always looked down on Hinata's qualifications. But he never imagined that the power of love is so great. Next moment, the two figures of Hinata and Yifeng were entangled again on the field. Soft step double lion punch amplifies the attack range of Gentle Fist. Even if it gets rubbed a little by a lion's head, Gentle Fist chakra will instantly swallow the target's meridians. In the face of such a terrorist attack, it is impossible to get close to the flesh. Yifeng could only dodge while looking at Hinata with a smile. It's not bad that the lovely Hinata has learned such an excellent move. Then Hinata, you are already qualified to let me draw a sword. Swish. Black knife unsheathed. A terrifying blade burst out. Collision with Hinata's twin lions. Boom. Smoke billows. The figures of the two were instantly enveloped. This moment, Kakashi, Asuma, Might Guy, Kurenai Yuhi's faces changed drastically. Isn't it a good couple show? What happened to that knife just now? Crazy. The figures of the four people disappeared in place in an instant. They must not watch Hinata get killed by the night wind. However, Yi Feng's friends are obviously much calmer than them. Because Yi Feng said it. In the ninja world, there is a supreme law called smoke without injury. The chakras of the two collided, so much smoke. That's perfectly fine. Really. Four guides, Jonin, rushed into the smoke. They found Yi Feng's black knife had been sheathed. The two looked at each other and intertwined their fingers, which turned out to be a sign of reconciliation. I was unexpectedly fed dog food. So full. Ah, the enthusiasm of youth, it really is endless. Hey, it's no wonder that Hiyashi is not in a hurry at all, or he knows these two children better. I'm really happy for Hinata to be able to compare the Chunin exam so romantically. Asuma, you have to learn a little bit. Aha, no problem. Four guides, Jonin, retreated into the audience. Hyuga Neji's heart began to sour again. Main plan. Encounter a little danger. It is possible to dispatch four guides Jonin at the same time. Is this the main clan treatment? It's so unfair. Chapter 103_Just have fun. Shiranui Genma returns to the center of the field. He was holding a specially made 1,000 copies in his mouth, and looking at the two people on the field, he felt a little overwhelmed. You two, the game isn't over yet. Isn't it a little too early for you to sign the seal of reconciliation? Follow the rules of the third game. The game ends when one side dies or concedes defeat. But now the two have made a seal of reconciliation. How can this be judged? Then, Shiranui Genma glanced at the 3 generations of Hokage in the attic. The third generation took a breath. Although there was a little problem in the scene, he felt very warm in his heart. Yi Feng not only has a strong strength, but also has a touching love. Such a young man. After all, it is the young man that the old man likes. Lord Cascage, look, how did they handle this situation? Third generation eyes turn to look at the fourth generation Cascage in Orochimaru's disguise. Although this is the home of Konoha village. But still have to give Cascage a little face. Since these two kids want to reconcile, it's better to judge them as a draw, Orochimaru said decisively. 3 generations of Hokage see, 4th generations of Cascage, also agree with the draw. Then, he nodded happily. Wave your hand. Instruct Shiranui Genma to announce the result of the match directly. In the end, Yi Feng and Hinata are excellent. No matter who gets hurt. It's all a loss for Konoha. Now that Cascage agrees. A draw is naturally no problem. After all, who can be promoted to Chunin in Konoha village is not just to see the game winning or losing, but to see the decision of his third generation Hokage. So, they both had fun. After Shiranui Genma declared a draw, many people who didn't know the truth began to feel sorry for Yi Feng and Hinata. Such excellent too. They were met by fate. Otherwise, they should all be Chunin. Seeing Yi Feng exit, Orochimaru let out a sigh of relief. According to Orochimaru's original plan, as long as Gaara can finally win the game. So, in the third game when the awards, he and Gaara shot 3 generations of Hokage at the same time. Thus, basically it's not a big problem. Even if this sneak attack didn't kill Hokage 3, it could seriously injure him, and it would be much easier to kill him. But, coming to Konoha village. But Orochimaru found that the night wind had become the most uncontrollable factor in his plan. Because of the night wind, Gaara was destined to not win the game. Orochimaru even planned to give up the original plan and prepared to force a wave of assassination. Did not expect. This is about to be done. Yi Feng actually played such a trick. Exited in a draw. Have to say. The power of love is great. Pity. I don't understand someone, and I don't need to understand. ... Yifeng returned to the auditorium with Hinata. The game continues. Next up are Hyuga Neji and Uzumaki Naruto. Hyuga Neji has already been stimulated by the night wind and Hinata. So, he came up on fire. Naruto's mother was almost unrecognizable. Good thing it is. The day has come for Kurama to pay the rent. Holding the hot rent in his hands, Naruto broke out in a wave, stunned the little genius Neji. Then, Naruto turned on the mouth escape mode. Neji suddenly felt. I understand what you're saying, but why didn't I think of it before? The pigeons are so big. Chapter 104 What are you doing? Neji is carried down by the medical ninja. Hyuga Hiyashi was full of emotion in the audience. The obsession of the Hyuga split. It's up to the patriarch to solve it. Then, Hyuga Hiyashi took little Hanabi and left the auditorium together, ready to enlighten Neji and draw a happy ending for Naruto's mouth escape. ... Next. Another very exciting game. Nara Shikamaru vs. Gaara's older sister Tamari. With an IQ of more than 200, Shikamaru finally used the evil shadow binding technique to completely control Tamari's body after a lot of setbacks. Just when Shikamaru was about to do something, he suddenly felt as if his body had been hollowed out. No way. He had to throw up his hands and admit defeat. But, although Shikamaru lost the game, he eventually won a beautiful wife and was successfully promoted to Chunin. That's it. Who dares to say that his IQ is useless? Next. The corner of Ino's mouth twitched, and he jumped up with a ninja sword in his hand. Very Handsome appeared in the middle of the arena. It's finally my turn to play. Ino's opponent is Tooth of Otogakure village. This time, Tooth didn't run away to challenge Gaara halfway through, so he lives to this day. The two stood opposite each other. Shiranui Genma routinely announces the rules of the game and then announces the start of the game. Tooth looked at Ino, his voice full of sarcasm, and said, I admit that you guys played well together in the Forest of Death, but now it's one-on-one. Little girl, I'll show you today, whether your knife is faster, or my voice Otogakure is faster. Hear Toth's sarcasm. Ino Tsunere snorted coldly. Subsequently, she placed the ninja sword in her hand on her wrist. Then, instant hand seal on both hands. Ninja, the art of turning your heart. Toss got hit with a bewildered look, and then, under Ino's control, voluntarily conceded defeat. Competition is over. The spirit returns to the body. Ino looked at Tooth lightly and said, when did you have the illusion that I'm just a swordsman ninja? Hear this. Ino speechlessly. You can learn knives from me. What are you pretending to do? ... After Ino's game is over. Next time. Aburame Shinov's Konkuro. Konkuro abstained when he came up. It drew a sigh of relief from the audience. The first two games were pretty good. But it started with that girl pretending to be a force just now. The game seems to be getting boring. But the game for the finale is finally about to begin. The last game is Uchiha Sasuke in Konoha Village vs Gaara in Sunagakure Village. After Shiranui Genma announced the final match list, the audience was boiling again. Among all the players, Yifeng's strength is undoubtedly the strongest. But in the qualifiers, the best fight was Gaara and Uchiha Sasuke. Now, they serve as the finale of the entire game. It's finally showing up. This time, Sasuke's curse seal was sealed by the third-generation Hokage for him, not a copycat version of Kakashi. So the user experience is very good. Sasuke learns Chidori faster. Jinchuriki Column Sun made a high-profile appearance when the game was about to end. Sass, come on. Naruto and Sakura cheered on the two Jinchuriki column sons together. This time. It's not that you think you can do it, but we all think you can do it. Hope you don't get hammered. Chapter 105 Sorry, I'm just a genin. Game start. Sasuke Uchiha gave Yifeng a honeyed smile inexplicably, and then swayed with Gaara wantonly. The two of you came and I played very well. Two Jinchuriki column children show a variety of ninjutsu taijutsu. And Gaara just stood there with a flat expression. Let the sand attack and defend automatically. As if to say, I'm standing right in front of you, see if you can hit me. Finally. Gao Chao rises. The second Jinchuriki column Sun Sharingan wrote wildly for a while, then penetrated Gaara's sand defense with Chidori, injuring Gaara's shoulder. After seeing blood, Gaara's expression gradually became hideous. A force within the body is about to explode. Orochimaru, see here. Eyes narrowed. The Kazekage family is also rubbish. About the promised Jonin-level son. He was actually injured by a Sasuke. Do you want to turn on the tail beast mode in advance? Hey. Orochimaru sighed and glanced sideways at the third Hokage. Mr. Sarutobi. In those days, someone, paid so much blood and sweat for the village. But you chose Namikaze Minato as the fourth generation Hokage, and gave up my excellent student. Today. Orochimaru will show you. What a foolish choice you made. Call. Sky. White feathers fluttered down. Orochimaru's big demonic illusion show has finally begun. Yefeng, what's the matter? Everyone fainted. Hinata stood beside Yefeng and activated Byakugan vigilantly. It happened so suddenly. Everyone is watching the crucial moment when Gaara and Sasuke fight. Demonic illusion kicked in suddenly. Many people did not respond. Fortunately, Hinata's energy has always been on Yefeng, so they didn't get their demonic illusion. It's okay, demonic illusion, just follow me, I will protect you. Yifeng said. Yifeng observed the surrounding situation. This scene. He has replayed it many times in his mind. Although Yifeng's attitude towards the third generation Hokage has changed a lot. But, under the leadership of the three generations of purpose, Konoha village will never be able to become a truly powerful village. And, look at the reactions of the ninjas around you. Third generation Hokage was hijacked by Orochimaru with the 4 purple flame formation. And the ninjas on the martial arts field are busy with their own affairs. No one at all tried to find a way to break the 4 purple flame formation. Even the son of the third generation, Sarutobi Asuma, took Kurenai Yuhi to the sidelines to kill the invaders. Have to say. Such 3 generations. So pitiful. Yifeng felt that letting him die like a hero was also a decent way to call the curtain. If not. After the third generation died of old age, what kind of achievements will everyone remember? The 3 apprentices were gambling on drugs. Acquiescing Danzo to use gossip to kill Konoha White Fang. Hazashi committed suicide by Kumogakure on trumped-up charges. The 4th generation of Hokage period, the 3rd generation of Hokage intervened forcibly. So. 3 generations. Let's call it a day. Yefeng-kun, I have a task for you, please bring Sasuke back to Konoha village. After demonic illusion is activated. Temari and Kankuro had already taken Gaara away. Sasuke is also the same as in the original plot, very second in the chase. Then. Kakashi came to Yefeng and wanted Yefeng to chase Sasuke back. Sorry, Kakashi, I have more important people to protect. If you want to save Sasuke, you can save it yourself, don't expect me to be a genin to help. Chapter 106_new check-in task. Yifeng glanced at Kakashi indifferently. Although Yifeng does have a card against Ichigo Gundam. But. That doesn't mean he's willing to be that thug. Moreover. Yifeng also didn't want to interfere with too many bonds between Naruto and Sasuke. The reason is simple. Ghost knows if he can handle Otsutsuki's silly white suite in the future. So, still have to keep Mingzuo's whole card. Hear Yi Feng's answer. Kakashi smiled awkwardly. Indeed. Genin, who had only just graduated a few months, deal with such a thing. But can he go by himself? After all, 3 generations of Hokage are still trapped here. 3 generations of Hokage alone and go after a kid. As the backbone of the village, he can at least get by on the bright side. Kakashi-sensei, let me come and go, I promise to bring Sasuke back. Please trust me, you have to get the oil. Sakura has helped Uzumaki Naruto break the demonic illusion. After figuring out the current situation, Uzumaki Naruto said that Sasuke's safety will be handed over to my future Hokage. Then, under the leadership of Naruto, Sakura, Shino, and Shikamaru form a temporary squad together. He chased in the direction Sasuke left. Left the martial arts field with Ino and Hinata. Brother, is Naruto really okay, or let's go help? Ino asked beside Yi Feng. Ino a white look. Ino is very floating now. There is always an urge to pick up a knife and go out and cut people. But war is cruel. And there are many uncertainties. Yi Feng didn't want them to face those terrifying things at their current age. Trust Naruto, he's more powerful than we thought, Hinata said. Naruto was fighting Neji, Hinata's Byakugan was on. So, she also saw the powerful chakra in Naruto. Although Hinata doesn't know what that is. But Naruto's strength is undeniable. And the key is, Hinata trusts Yi Feng's judgment. ... Ding. You have a new check-in task, please pay attention to check it. Yi Feng sent Ino and Hinata to a safe place, the system issued a sign-in task. Have you finally come to the mission? You know that you will not let me settle down. Yi Feng opened the task panel. Please go to the 4 Purple Flames formation and sign in within 1 meter of the 4 Purple Flames formation. The time limit for this mission is 15 minutes. 4 Purple Flame formation. Isn't that where the 3 generations of Hokage and Orochimaru fought? 15 minutes. It means that the battle is likely to be over. Yi Feng simply explained to Ino and Hinata. Then, he picked the nearest path and ran towards the martial arts field. ... Along the way, Yekas saw a lot of Konoha village ninjas who were struggling. Although the upper class in the village no longer trusts Sandemu so much. But Chunin and Genin of Konoha village still believe in the will of fire. Corner of the street. A young ninja is holding a kunai against the enemy. Judging from their skills, a female ninja is supposed to be just a Genin, and her opponent is a Chunin. Little Leaf, Ah Feng, I will definitely avenge you. The female ninja suddenly roared hysterically. Subsequently, she ignored the opponent's slash. He rushed straight up and hugged the enemy. Boom. A detonator detonated. Yi Feng originally wanted to help. But things happened too fast. He could only watch helplessly as the young ninja perished with the enemy. Hey. Nightwing sighed. This is the cruelty of war. If you can. Yi Feng's greatest wish is peace in the ninja world. Just when the night wind was full of emotion, a team of enemy ninjas suddenly appeared, blocking Yi Feng's path. Is that you? Yi Feng frowned. The ninja leading the team was actually Yakushi Kabuto. At this time, he didn't hide in the martial arts field to watch the battle, but he ran out on purpose. For yourself. Ye Feng-kun, stay safe. Yakushi Kabuto looked at Yi Feng with a playful face, as if he wanted to find that panicked expression on Yi Feng's face. But unfortunately, Yi Feng's face had nothing but killing intent. Nothing else. Yakushi Kabuto, go away now, I can save your life. Yi Feng said coldly. The strength of Yakushi Kabuto is not weak. If Yi Feng wanted to defeat him as soon as possible, he had to use his sword strike. But signing up soon. The ghost knows what the hell is going to happen over there. So, not as a last resort. Yifeng didn't want to waste chakra at will. Ha ha ha, Orochimaru-sama is right, you really are an arrogant boy. Yakushi Kabuto laughed. Yamanaka Yefeng, don't you think that what I showed during the Chunin exam is my true strength? Yakushi Kabuto pushed his glasses, and a white light refracted out. Let me tell you the truth, I'm Orochimaru-sama's capable subordinate. As far as my strength is concerned, I might be able to compete with Hitaki Kakashi, a copy ninja from Konoha village. Yakushi Kabuto's expression was indifferent. He tried his best to pretend that he wasn't pretending. But calmness is a form of coercion. Then there was a sneering look on the corner of Yifeng's mouth, and said lightly. I thought how strong are you, and Kakashi is 55 to 50. I'm sorry, maybe everyone in the ninja world has such strength. Hitaki is 5 to 5. That was the special law given to him by Heavenly Path. You and him can be 55 to 50. What is there to be proud of? Brush. The task left to Yifeng has a limited time. He also stopped talking nonsense with Yakushi Kabuto. Cut out with a knife. The terrifying sword force enveloped Yakushi Kabuto and his party. In front of such an angry sword, Yakushi Kabuto's face instantly lost its blood. What kind of swordsmanship is this? How could it be so strong? Just kidding. Boom. This knife was too sudden. Totally beyond Yakushi Kabuto's imagination. All the subordinates he brought over were instantly slashed by Yifeng. But Yifeng's knife controlled the release of chakra, and did not use all his strength. So, although Yakushi Kabuto was caught off guard, he still escaped. But his price was the loss of a left ear. Damn it, the power is much stronger than what Orochimaru-sama described. Could it be that he has been hiding his power? Yakushi Kabuto quickly used medical ninjutsu to stop the bleeding for himself. Then make an immediate decision. Using a drop of blood given to him by Orochimaru, a serpent was summoned. Go, kill him. Yakushi Kabuto gave the order to the serpent and ran away. Doden, Earth-style, swamp of the underworld. Face the giant snake at Ryachi Cave. Yifeng directly used a move Doden, Earth-style. The serpent was plunged into the swamp. Then, brush. Cut off the snake's head with a knife. You're lucky this time, next time you won't lose an ear. Chapter 107_gramophone. When Yifeng returned to the martial arts field, everything that happened here was very similar to what he remembered. Kakashi and Might Guy are happily cleaning up the troopers. Daily routines are being played. There are several masked Anbu ninjas around the 4 purple flame array, and they are whispering about the battle inside. It seems that it should be brushing the old iron 666. Nightwing sighed. Approaching the 4 purple flame formation. The 4 purple flame formation is an enchantment-type ninjutsu that can only be performed by 4 people. The closer to the enchantment, the temperature will be higher. But okay. Yifeng's sign-in location was 1 meter away from CZ Yanzhen. Although it will be a little grilled, but not so dangerous. After all, only when you touch the flames on the 4 purple flame formation will you be burned by the flames. Seeing that Yifeng was about to arrive at the sign-in location, a masked Anbu ninja stood in front of Yifeng. Who are you? It's a matter of great importance here. Idle people are not allowed to approach. Anbu's ninja's voice was unusually cold. Yifeng frowned slightly. Master Hokage is trapped inside, I'll go see if I can help him. Yifeng said, preparing to step forward again. But the Anbu ninja refused to give in at all, and reached out his hand to stop Yifeng again. Lord Hokage is trying to narrow the scope of the battle within this barrier and prevent the village from being damaged, so he didn't come out. What do you know? Don't blame me for being rude if you dare to approach. Yifeng glanced at his surroundings thoughtfully. These Anbu members are scattered around the barrier. Not so much a spectator. Rather, It was deliberately preventing others from trying to crack the 4 purple flame array. What do you mean? The 3rd generation was deliberately trapped by Orochimaru. But in my opinion, the 3rd generation seems to be unable to hold on. Yi Feng let out a sneer. If Yi Feng doesn't know the ending of the 3rd generation, maybe he would really believe these Anbu's nonsense. But 3rd generation Hokage is already old and is not a match for Orochimaru at all. So, trapped Orochimaru here. What about trouble? With so many masters in Konoha village, of course gang fights are the best strategy. HMPH, Lord Hokage is the strongest Hokage in Konoha village. How can you, a genin, understand his strength? Anbu ninja said coldly. Yi Feng frowned. The Anbu ninja seemed to trust Sandemu very much on the surface, but his eyes betrayed him. That is clearly a kind of contempt for the purpose of the 3rd generation. Is it root tolerance? When I think about genin. Yi Feng's face turned gloomy in an instant, and killing intent filled his body. He had no intention of saving Sandemu, nor did he have the strength to save Sandemu. But if the root ninja prevents him from completing the sign-in, Yi Feng would not be polite to him. Yi Feng stepped forward again, and the root ninja directly drew his sword, wanting to kill Yi Feng. In General Ninja's eyes, although the 4 purple flame array is impregnable, but safety first. He must not allow any mishaps to arise. But when Geninjia saw Yi Feng's sword being pulled out, a chill suddenly emerged from the top of his head. Swish! A sharp blade of light passed by. The ninja sword in Gen Ninja's hand fell to the ground with a bang. His hands fell weakly, and his pupils were full of confusion. My strength. Gen Ninja's voice fell, and he knelt to the ground with a plop, and a bloodline bloomed on his neck. Gudong. The head rolled to the ground. Murder and Gramophone. Chapter 108 _ The old man is the strongest Hokage. Inside the 4 purple yang formation, 3 Hokages and 1 Orochimaru were all attracted by Yi Feng's swordsmanship. When did this kind of swordsmanship ninja actually exist in the village, and they were able to kill themselves and record their voices? Senju Tobarama loved swordsmanship in his life. But even him, it is also impossible to achieve the rumored level of killing alive and leaving a voice. His name is Yi Feng, and he is a disciple of the old man's disciple. I originally planned to train him to become the 5th generation of Hokage. It's a pity, I'm afraid I don't have this opportunity. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled lightly. 3rd generation of Hokage faced the 1st and 2nd generation plus an Orochimaru at the same time. But he was very relieved to see Yi Feng behave like this. Mr. Sarutobi, don't put gold on your face anymore. The so-called disciple of your disciple's disciple is not my disciple's disciple. Don't worry, after you die, I will take him away in person, and carefully study the secret of his power. Orochimaru stuck out his tongue and licked his lips. Such excellent experimental material. Orochimaru be spared. Hey, Orochimaru, don't be mad. This old man is the most beloved and strongest Hokage in Konoha village. I must clear the door today. 3 generations of Hokage habitually touted themselves after a while. Looked slightly embarrassed in the direction of the 2nd generation Hokage. The old face suddenly couldn't hang up. Actually, it's not difficult to break the 4 purple flame formation, as long as you burst the gas to break the barrier. When are you going to break the barrier? This is the 1st Hokage. Monkey, those ninjas outside should be Anbu. Why are they watching the show, but no one came to help you? Are you really Hokage? Could it be that you were usurped? This is the 2nd generation of Hokage. It's a pity that the 4th generation of Hokage is not here, otherwise he might say, isn't it the 4 purple flame array? Hiraishin comes and leaves as soon as he wants. Face these questions that go straight to the soul. 3 generations of Hokage sighed. The old man was about to die soon, and he was actually slapped in the face. Really beeping a dog. Inside the 4 purple yang formation, 4 cage-level powerhouses fight and gossip. And outside the 4 purple flame formation, Yifeng had already killed all genin in the same way. He stood at the sign in position. Ding! Congratulations to the host for signing in successfully. Congratulations to the host for the reward, Senju Bloodline. Boom! A familiar indescribable force exploded in Yifeng's body. Immediately after, the bloodline characteristics of the Senju family are perfectly integrated with the bloodline characteristics of the Uzumaki family. The vitality is stronger. The speed of condensing chakra has also increased. And the chakra in the meridians is more pure. This moment. Finally able to understand why the Senju clan were once the strongest clan in the ninja world. Having the Senju bloodline, Yifeng's chakra is more condensed than before. The same amount of chakra. The power that can be exerted has been increased several times. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen saw Yifeng condensed chakra outside the barrier. Heart cannot help but warm. He already knew the situation outside the barrier. Anbu was killed. Genin took over the scene. This means Danzo is either working with Orochimaru or just trying to get in the way. But for Danzo's anti-water thing, 3 generations of Hokage are no surprise. He knew his old buddy too well. Just that Sarutobi Hiruzen needed to let Danzo take the blame, so he kept him all the time. But made the 3 generations of Hokage still unable to figure out as why there are so many masters in the village, and no one has come to find a way to save him out. Although the 4 purple flame formation belongs to a relatively powerful space enchantment. But there are many experts in Konoha village. Don't they even want to try it? Even the old man's proud disciple Jiraiya and the old man's son Asuma refused to come. In the end, you are blindly believing that the old man must be fine. Or is this Hokage too failed? It should be the second one. That moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart was completely cold. Until the night wind appeared. A happy smile appeared on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face. Yefeng, don't try to save me, the old man has run out of fuel, and even if he is rescued, he will definitely not be able to live. However, if the old man dies, he will die. Before he dies, the old man will definitely kill the thief Orochimaru, so that the village will never suffer from future troubles, just like the 4th generation of Hokage. Speaking of which, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly felt a surge of emotion. Resist everything for the sake of the village. Turn out to be. This is the will of the 4th generation of Hokage. 4th Hokage. Mr. Sarutobi, don't make a fuss there. I'll show you today how stupid you were to choose Namikaze Minato as the 4th Hokage. Orochimaru sneered. Orochimaru's mood was starting to feel a little less good. Konoha village. There are still people willing to stand on the side of Sarutobi Hiruzen. This makes Orochimaru's revenge experience a lot less. Kabuto that crap. He didn't even catch Yamanaka Yeka's. Orochimaru got the container I wanted. Get you together again. ... I heard a loud noise coming from the barrier. Yifeng frowned. Stopped to experience new features. Yefeng, let's go and protect the children in the village. They are the future of Konoha village. We can leave this to the old man, the Hokage, which should have been buried long ago. The 3rd generation cooperated with the monkey demon to repel the joint attack of the 1st generation and the 2nd generation, and then smiled warmly at Yifeng. Don't be ashamed there, just rely on you now. How can you destroy me Orochimaru? Orochimaru is an immortal existence. And Yamanaka Yefeng, don't try to escape. In my laboratory, there is a cold iron bed, that is your best home. Orochimaru has proposed more than once that he wants to take Yefeng back for slicing research. The night wind is clear. Orochimaru is not just talking casually. He really wants to hack himself. But I want to catch the night wind. Is it that easy? Yifeng looked at Orochimaru coldly. Subsequently, Ghost out of the sheath. The terrifying blade slammed into the sky, bombarding the surface of the 4 purple flame array. Puff. The 4 of Audiobook suddenly felt a huge force coming from the barrier. The 4 of them spit out a mouthful of blood at the same time. His face turned pale instantly. And at the same time, the surface of the 4 purple flame formation also began to shake, as if it could be shattered at any time. What's the matter? Never let him break the barrier. Orochimaru's face sank. Konoha Honkai plan is a surprise attack and beheading. If the 4 Ziyang formation is broken, Orochimaru has to face the whole Konoha village. He is arrogant though. But there are still scales. After all, the background of Konoha village is not weak, and it is definitely not something he can compete against alone. Chapter 109_3 Generations of Fire ended, a new era is coming. The 4 Otogaku heard Orochimaru's order. They bite Kiba. At the same time, the spell seal is activated. The chakra in the body is motivated frantically. After this effort, they finally stabilize the 4 purple flame formation again. See this scene. Yi Feng frowned. Although the chakra purity in Yi Feng's body has increased, the power of the blade has also increased. But the knife power consumes too much chakra. Yi Feng had already used a knife before. So the power of this second knife is not the power of the full state. And the 4 purple flame array is really strong. Yamanaka Yefeng, your power has refreshed my perception of you again, which is good, but it's also a pity. The 4 of them are my subordinates that I cultivated since I was a child. They are specially born for the 4 purple sun formation. Even me, I can't forcefully break the barrier that they set up together, so no one can rescue Sarutobi Hiruzen today. Orochimaru hee sneered. To be frank, Yi Feng's knife just now really gave Orochimaru a lot of shock. According to Orochimaru's inference, Yi Feng's strength may be close to cage level. But as long as the 4 purple flame formation is not broken, Orochimaru is sure to kill 3 generations of Hokage. Then Konoha village in a pre-arranged way. As for the Night Wind, he may have a chance to come back to catch him in the future. Orochimaru, since you are so interested in me, if you survive this time, if you still have the guts, I, Yamanaka Yefeng, welcome you to come to me at any time. Orochimaru disdainfully let out a sneer. Not weak at all. Cage level chakra level. But he launched the flat machete twice in a row, which has consumed at least 80% of the chakra in his body. So the third knife can't be used for a while. Yi Feng staying here is of little significance. Not to mention, although Orochimaru's arm will be sealed, but with Orochimaru's escape ability, Yi Feng has no way to kill him completely. Then Yi Feng chose to leave the martial arts field and joined the battle in the village. I saw the ninjas in Konoha village fought bloody battles to protect their families, companions, and villagers. Yi Feng made up his mind. Konoha village must change. Otherwise, these bloody ninjas died in vain. This village, not the place for Danzo and the others to play tricks. ... It didn't take long. 3 generations of Hokage came to an end as promised. Orochimaru escaped through occult magic, but also lost a pair of arms. The whole Konoha village is very solemn. When the 3rd generation has an accident, most elite Jonins just happen to be around. So no one will be implicated. But Sandemu risked his soul being sealed by the god of death and unable to return to the Pure Land. Do your best. A pair of hands that sealed Orochimaru. Keep Konoha village from being attacked by Orochimaru next. This kind of credit still makes everyone in awe. 3 generations. Perhaps all that is missing is an opportunity to make a contribution. If the original 2nd generation Hokage agreed to let Sarutobi Hiruzen break. If there are 2 ninja wars, Sarutobi Hiruzen can go to the front line to command. If it weren't for old age that killed his ambitions, QB, Nine Tails, Knight. Maybe the fourth generation of Hokage doesn't need to die either. If he was just the chief of the Sarutobi clan, not Hokage of Konoha village. Perhaps. Sarutobi Hiruzen's fame will not be as it is now. Fortunately, his incompetent disciple gave him this chance. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen be worthy of the title of shinobi. Rain. Yifeng left early from Sandago's funeral. The unusually dull atmosphere at the funeral made Yifeng feel uncomfortable. He can only resolve by swinging a knife. A knife. 2 knives. 3 knives. Countless knives. Yifeng felt that his ability to cut flat was slowly improving, and his mood finally improved. Flat cut ultimate. In addition to making Yifeng's sword swing more stable and powerful, it also gave him the ability to launch a sword attack. But judging from the knife he slashed at the 4Z formation, Yifeng's chakra is still unable to maximize the power of the blade. In the end, there is still a big gap between Senju's bloodline and Senju Hashirama's bloodline. He still has a lot of room for improvement. Human Jinchuriki column power. Yifeng swung the knife while thinking in his heart, I can't just grab a tailed beast and come back and be a personal Jinchuriki column power, right? That's too low. Night wind. Jiraiya suddenly appeared in Yifeng's line of sight. He also felt that the funeral was too heavy. So, also left early. Unexpectedly, he encountered Yifeng, who was practicing swordsmanship. Jiraiya, are you looking for me? Yifeng didn't stop swinging the knife. Jiraiya casually. Ah, it's alright, this is the training ground where the old man took us to play bell grabbing when we graduated, so I came back specially to see it. Jiraiya leaned lazily against a stake. Far sight. Recalled the past. At this time, stopped the practice in his hands, wiped his sweat, and looked at Jiraiya thoughtfully. Since you miss your master-disciple relationship so much, why didn't you save him that day? Retracted the black knife, looked at Jiraiya curiously and asked. After all, you have long since left Konoha village, and you are from a commoner background, and you have no family bondage, so the relationship between your 3 generations and you should only be a pure master-disciple relationship. The ninjas at the top of Konoha village are complex. Sarutobi Hiruzen because of various fetters and various reasons. But not Jiraiya. Hear Yifeng's question. Jiraiya froze for a moment, then laughed. A 13-year-old kid can actually say such a thing, it's not a shame that the old man likes him. It's not the night wind, you know. We live in a world where it doesn't matter how you live, but how you die matters. The value of a ninja's life is not determined by how he survives, but by what he does before he dies. The old man died well, his ending was brilliant and worthy of his Hokage title. Jiraiya sighed. Even so. But Jiraiya really thought that the 3rd generation could handle Orochimaru by herself. So he didn't want to get involved, he wanted to become a hero for 3 generations again. But he never expected it. Orochimaru actually developed such ninjutsu. Glanced at Jiraiya. Sacrifice for the purpose of 3 generations. He agrees with Jiraiya. But to Jiraiya's take on the value of ninjas, Yifeng did not agree. In the night wind, people are most meaningful only when they are alive. If this world is not like this, then he will change the world. Chapter 110 _ This ninja world needs to change. Yifeng, I heard that you killed Danzo's subordinates. Do you know who he is? You were so impulsive at the time. Jiraiya reminisced after a while. He looked at Yifeng deeply. Danzo, though seemingly not well known in Konoha village. But his murderous name is known to the higher ups at Konoha. Against Danzo is a very dangerous thing. Chimura Danzo, isn't that the leader of genin? Since those genin are in my way, I will kill them. Yifeng's eyes showed disdain, and then he asked, besides, shouldn't they kill them? It should be killed, but you shouldn't kill it. Jiraiya shook his head and said, Yifeng, do you know that if you do this, you will have a lot of trouble in the future? For Danzo, this guy. Jiraiya is equally unimpressed. But the genin in Shimura Danzo's hands is very special. Even the high-level people in the village are reluctant to tear their faces with Danzo. But now, Yifeng actually killed his subordinates openly. And although everyone understands Danzo's intention at the time, no one has proof. Trouble will always be there. Unless the source of the trouble can be solved. Yifeng shook his head and said, in the end, it's time for Konoha village to change. Under the leadership of those old guys in Konoha village, more and more problems have arisen. Do not change words. Konoha village will never be strong. You want to change the village. Jiraiya froze for a moment, then her eyes lit up. Your thinking is the same as that of Minato back then. It's a pity. I, the so-called Sannin of Konoha village, even protect my own disciples. Not good. Said here. Jiraiya sighed heavily again. Looking back on my life is full of failures. Repeatedly rejected by girls who were pursued at a young age. Failed to stop friends from going down the wrong path as an adult. I can't even protect my disciples and teachers. The frivolous things I've done are nothing compared to what Hokage has done through the ages. Maybe one day, I will die as a great ninja like Hokage of all ages. The process of the story is not wonderful, but as long as there is a wonderful ending, it is also a kind of fun. Looked at Jiraiya, who was full of emotion. Shook his head. Number 1, I'm different from Namikaze Minato. Second, the world is different from what you imagined. Don't think what you think is what you think. Thirdly, I will definitely change the world and make it a real bloody world. I hope you can live to that day. After Yifeng finished speaking. Turn away. This world is not an animation world. This is the world where Yifeng lives. There are a lot of people and things Yifeng cares about here. He will never allow such a world to sink like in the original book. Wants to change the village of Konoha, change the world of ninjas, and explore the mysteries of this universe. High wall outside Konoha village. Standing here and looking far away. The whole Konoha village is almost unobstructed. Especially under those gorilla Yuhi-colored pupils. It's a pity that the once prosperous Konoha village has been ruined by Orochimaru. Mr. Itachi, seeing such a village, I think even you will feel a little sad. Kisame Hoshigaki grinned. Although nothing malicious. But that expression was very grim. Sad. Ghost Shark, do you think you can feel sorry for a village if you can kill the whole family with heart? Uchiha Itachi's pair of Yuhi-colored three-tomo Sharingan exudes a kind of indifference to all things in the world. Let's go, gather some post-war information on Konoha. Konoha Village. Yamanaka Training Ground. After the guys finished their day of training, a picnic mat was placed in the middle of the training ground. Enjoyed lunch. Although 3 days have passed since the funeral of the third Hokage. But it is not difficult to see from the expressions of the little friends. They are still mired in the grief of losing Hokage. Hey! Uzumaki Naruto sighed heavily. Even if he was holding the most expensive takeaway from Ichiraku's house. It also feels a little boring. 3 generations of grandfathers, others are so nice. Why did they die? Naruto never understood. 3rd generation Hokage is obviously so strong. The Jonins of Konoha village are so strong. Why was Orochimaru able to kill Hokage 3? Why don't good people live long? Like Orochimaru survive? Naruto, this is war, and war is so cruel and ruthless. Yifeng raised his head and took a sip of wine, glanced at the Hokage rock in the distance, and said lightly, actually, Orochimaru. Said here. Yifeng did not continue to speak. He had meant to say that Orochimaru wasn't actually that bad. If not, there is no need for him to kill the 4 generations of Kazekage in the middle. To know. On the day of the exam. If Orochimaru is disguised as Kage's bodyguard, the two of them will definitely bring a heavier blow to Konoha village. But Orochimaru didn't do that. In the end, in the night wind, Orochimaru's so-called Konoha collapse plan does not really want to collapse the Konoha village. He probably just wanted to prove to the 3 generations of Hokage how stupid the choice made by the teacher of 3 generations of Hokage was. That feeling is like a student who was once looked down upon by the teacher, after a successful career, came to the teacher and wanted to pretend to be slapped in the face. But it's a pity. Orochimaru is clearly broken. He paid the price of a pair of arms. ... Next. While enjoying lunch, the friends discuss the future of Konoha village. They are all young and prosperous now. It is the age that likes to point the country and inspire words. Yifeng was drinking while watching their impassioned, scolding Feng Chu. Also feeling a little drunk. He likes this pace of life. But right now, the pit cargo system in my mind has released the sign-in task again. Ding. Please go to Erlong Bridge to sign in. The task is limited to 1 hour. Erlong Bridge. It's not too far from here. Yifeng calmly hung the wine gourd back to his waist. Just a pretense. Left the training ground first. ... Come to Erlong Bridge. Yifeng completed the sign-in task very smoothly. Such a smooth sign-in. Yifeng suspected that the reward might be a spicy chicken. But this time the system is surprisingly powerful. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully signing in and getting the reward, Yin Dun Ultimate. Familiar power rolled in Yifeng's body. Shadow Shield of the Night Wind. Ultimate 2. Chapter 111 Uchiha Itachi's Bad Taste. Yin Escape is different from the 5 elements escape technique. Yin Escape is linked to spiritual power and cannot be used to enchant. And look at the whole ninja world. Except for demonic illusion. There are not many ninjutsus that can be performed with the Shadow Shield chakra. Ancient families like Yamanaka and Nara. Their Shadow Shield technique has been passed down from generation to generation. The difficulty is very high. But the upgrade of Yin Escape has a great effect on Yifeng. Yifeng could clearly feel that his mental strength had improved a lot compared to before. And Byakugan's pupil power is also enhanced. Byakugan's observation distance seems to be getting farther, and the clarity is getting higher, but if it's just this level, it doesn't seem to be of any use, right? Byakugan and Sharingan are both the strongest pupils in Konoha village. But compare Byakugan with Sharingan. Unless it can evolve into Tenseigan in the future. Otherwise, it will look much worse. Tenseigan and Rinnegan are the same level of pupil art. Tenseigan's skills, Golden Reincarnation Blast and Silver Reincarnation Blast, are super powerful. Tenseigan also has better control of attraction and repulsion than Rinnegan. Even Tenseigan can directly make Infinite Gudodama Truth-Seeking Ball. Launch a Gudodama Truth-Seeking Ball Gatling attack. Even Susanoo couldn't resist. But can Yifeng's eyes really evolve into Tenseigan? This is probably up to God's will. Just when Yifeng was thinking about these things, suddenly, he found that 2 powerful breaths appeared in front of him. Uchiha Itachi and Kisame Hoshigaki. Yifeng frowned. Sure enough, there will be a moth to sign. This time, they actually met these 2 extremely dangerous characters. Yamanaka Yefeng, long time no see. Uchiha Itachi's voice was very flat. He went to the bridge. Stop. Take off the hat. A pair of orangutan Yuhi-colored 3-tomo Sharingan are revealed. To this, Yifeng was quite speechless. With such a small body, you are obviously sick. Why do you always open Sharingan? Think you're not dying fast enough? Mr. Itachi, this kid should be just a genin. He can actually stop you. Is there anything special about him? Kisame Hoshigaki asked curiously. Oni sharks know Itachi's character very well. It's almost impossible for someone like him to have friends. Someone who can make him stop. Must be very special. Although he is only a genin, he is a genin who can kill Momochi without slaying. Uchiha Itachi said lightly. So far, 5 of the 7 people in Kurigakure village have died at the hands of Konoha genin. It's really special. Oh, it turns out that he killed him and didn't cut it again. What an interesting kid. Kisame Hoshigaki also took off his hat. The big sword shark muscle put a pestle on the ground. There was a flurry of dust. Now, within the territory of Konoha, 2 S-class missing nin voluntarily revealed their identities. This also represents they will never let Yi Feng leave easily. You too, look at this lake, it's big and round, look at the beautiful scenery in Konoha village, and look at your 2 outfits, are you here for a tour? If there's nothing else, I'll go first. Night wind hit haha. The head feels a little big. Although Kisame Hoshigaki is as famous as Zaibujian. But the strength of the ghost shark can definitely be crushed and never cut. After all, it is known as a tailless beast, and it has a lot of fighting experience. Not to mention Uchiha Itachi. He is a man who can knock out Orochimaru with just one look. Although Yi Feng has merged with Senju's bloodline, he already has the strength of cage level. But everyone is innocent. Why try so hard? After all, his mission has been completed, and he is still fighting them to death. What is he going to do? Yi Feng's rap is very slippery. But ghost sharks obviously have no musical cells. Do you want to leave now? Although I have a normal relationship with that kid, but as the owner of the shark muscle, I always want to save a little face for the 7 blades, right? Kisame Hoshigaki grinned grimly, and aimed his big sword at Yi Feng. Things have come this far. Yi Feng could only sigh helplessly. 1-on-2 is dangerous. But as long as he doesn't look at Uchiha Itachi, he can observe their physical movements through Byakugan, and it's not impossible to fight. And Hatake Kakashi and Might Guy will come to support soon. If it's really going to be a big deal. 7 Gates Guy Immortal, Kamui Kakashi. It is necessary to let them know. Uchiha Itachi saw that Yi Feng had already grasped the ninja sword. Eyes down. Obviously avoiding his gaze. Then, Uchiha Itachi said in a flat tone, facing Sharingan, your tactics are fine. Demonic illusion on you years ago. Uchiha Itachi's voice fell. Yi Feng frowned. Immediately after, Yi Feng suddenly felt that the world was spinning in front of him. The surrounding environment became a spooky space with only Yuhi colors, black and white. Depend on Tsukuyomi in the special code. In Tsukuyomi's world. Sky. Countless blood clouds rolled. Turn the moon into the color of Yuhi. Very weird. Yefeng, you are actually very strong. I knew that you must have a secret a few years ago, so can you tell me what it is? Uchiha Itachi is not a curious person. But the relationship between Yi Feng and Sasuke is still close. He has to figure out everything. After all, his stupid Odudo is the one who is going to inherit the glory of Uchiha. Yi Feng frowned. In this weird Tsukuyomi world, he was tied to a cross by Uchiha Itachi in a wicked way. Uchiha Itachi has a knife in his hand. It seems that he wants to do something terrible to Yi Feng. In Tsukuyomi's world, time, space, and quality are completely under my control. So, I can have a part of your body cut off, grow back, and cut off again. Something like this, we can repeat for 72 hours. Of course. If you think it's just a demonic illusion and it doesn't matter what I've done to you, you're dead wrong. Although Tsukuyomi is demonic illusion, that pain will be remembered for a lifetime. So, you know. Yi Feng saw that Uchiha Itachi was constantly looking between his legs. Couldn't help frowning. Special code. What if I got screwed like this for 72 hours? In the future, it will not be beach. Swish. The first knife came. Puff. Endure the knife into the meat. A splash of water splashed. Huh. Water separation. How is that possible? This moment. Even as calm as Uchiha Itachi, there was an incredible look on his face. This is his Tsukuyomi world. Everything here should be under his absolute control. Why is Yifeng still able to activate water body? Chapter 112 _ A bold idea. Just when Uchiha Itachi was surprised, Yifeng has appeared behind Uchiha Itachi. A hand knife slashed. Stabbed Uchiha Itachi in the back. The stabbed Uchiha Itachi instantly turned into a flock of crows and scattered. Flew into the air. Fortunately, I will get out of the water with one hand, otherwise, if you use Shadow Clone to resist the knife you just made, it will taste a little sour. Yifeng stood with his hands behind his back. Look at the crows flying overhead. I'll take your juggling, it's not necessary. Yifeng shrugged. The crows circled 3 times above Yifeng's head. Then landed. To the form of Uchiha Itachi. Yamanaka Yefeng, you really hide an unusual secret. Uchiha Itachi looked at Yefeng thoughtfully. Secret? Who hasn't ordered a secret yet? You say yes, 7 in a dozen. Yifeng smiled indifferently. Actually, when Yifeng just hit Tsukuyomi, he was still a little flustered. But complete control over time, space, and quality. Yifeng couldn't help but want to complain. With your educational level of not graduating from Uchiha Itachi Elementary School, can you really understand the meaning of these 3 terms? In the end, Tsukuyomi is nothing more than a demonic illusion based on the Shadow Shield. And Yifeng's Shadow Shield has just been raised to the ultimate level. Super spiritual. Demonic illusion is super resistant. Uchiha Itachi's Tsukuyomi can still trap Yeka's spirit inside, but has no way of controlling Yeka's behavior in Tsukuyomi's world. In a world like this, there's no point in fighting anymore. Why don't you sit down and talk about the little things about your Uchiha family? I know a lot of secrets. Yifeng waved his hand, sending an invitation to Uchiha Itachi. Oh. Uchiha Itachi looked at Yifeng with sharp eyes. He didn't speak for a long time. Finally, he sighed. Sitting opposite Yifeng. It sounds like you know something. Tell me, I'm all ears. Uchiha Itachi said lightly. Don't be so serious, I actually just want to ask you, is Konoha village really that important to you? Is it so important that you need to kill your own parents? If I remember correctly, you must have been about the same age as me when you killed them. How are you so cruel? Yifeng asked curiously. In the night wind. Uchiha Itachi's parents love him very much. A child who grew up in such a warm and harmonious family. How is it possible to do such a thing that people and gods are angry with? Even Itachi has a precocious personality. From a very young age, he began to think about the village and the family. But it's too outrageous to kill one's father and one's mother. You were wrong. The reason why I killed the Uchiha clan before they rebelled was not for Konoha, but to preserve the honor of the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Itachi shook his head. Although his eyes seemed to be determined, it is also a little painful. Oh, for the glory of the Uchiha clan. Yifeng suddenly sucked in a breath of cold air. If you look at the original plot, Uchiha Sasuke eventually became the hero who saved the ninja world. His daughter Uchiha Sarana also became an excellent ninja in Konoha village. If this continues, Uchiha Sarana may become the Hokage of Konoha village in the future. Look at it this way. Uchiha Itachi indeed kept the honor of the Uchiha clan. At least, the Uchiha family will not be wiped out by Konoha or run away in the name of traitors. You Yamanaka family have had glory from the very beginning. As the son of Yamanaka Inoichi, I feel that you will not understand. Uchiha Itachi shook his head. The Uchiha family is one of the 2 major families that founded the village of Konoha. But in the village of Konoha, although the Uchiha family is in charge of such important departments as the police department. But the upper echelons of the village have always been hostile to Uchiha. Such Uchiha clan will never develop. So, the clan's betrayal gave Uchiha Itachi an opportunity. An opportunity to bring the Uchiha family back to glory. So, genocide has happened. Uchiha Itachi thoughtfully. Such Uchiha Itachi. It was really hard for him to understand. But Yifeng had also had contact with Itachi before. Wasn't he like this before? Seems that since Uchiha Shisui's death, Uchiha Itachi has suddenly changed as a person. Thought here. Yifeng suddenly had a bold idea in his heart. Itachi, are you sure? You haven't been under Koto Amatsukami by Uchiha Shisui. For example, he will let you protect the glory of the Uchiha clan no matter what. Uchiha Itachi with different eyes, feeling that only in this way could he explain it. Oh, you even know Koto Amatsukami, I really can't see through you more and more. Uchiha Itachi looked at Yifeng thoughtfully. If I could tell you that I hit Koto Amatsukami or didn't hit Koto Amatsukami, then Koto Amatsukami is not Koto Amatsukami. Uchiha Itachi has a calm expression though. But his heart couldn't help but churn. After Uchiha Itachi got Shisui's eyes, he did find that Shisui's Koto Amatsukami had been used. But Koto Amatsukami is the strongest demonic illusion of the Uchiha clan. It can permanently change a person's ideology invisibly and permanently. It's common, you're not you anymore, but you don't know it. This demonic illusion. Even the shackles of impure world reincarnation can be broken. So, unless the caster tells you the truth. Otherwise, no one knows if they have been hit by such a demonic illusion. Even though Uchiha Itachi has got Shisui's eyes, he has already mastered how Koto Amatsukami is used. He still couldn't tell if he had hit Koto Amatsukami. But, if it's really like Yifeng said, he hit Shisui's Koto Amatsukami. So, what a foggy life such a life is. Forget it, let's put the Koto Amatsukami thing aside for now. I have another question for you. Isn't your goal to protect the glory of the Uchiha clan? That's not a problem in itself. But why do you have to genocide yourself? Is there no other way? Asked Yifeng. Uchiha Itachi watched Yifeng quietly. There was a very obvious look of pain on his face. Of course there are many ways. But when I found out about it, the top of Konoha had already decided to attack the Uchiha clan first. Originally my mission was to assist Anbu in clearing Uchiha. But if you do that, the Uchiha clan will bear the stigma of betraying the village. So I can only do it myself. In this way, all the infamy will be borne by me, Uchiha Itachi, and the reputation of the Uchiha family will not be affected. Chapter 113 _ It stands to reason that I should be able to talk to him 55-50. Heard here. Yifeng finally figured out the ins and outs of the matter. Putting aside the Koto Amatsukami thing. Uchiha Itachi's life is really a coffee table. Then, are you the spy that Konoha village installed into Akatsuki? Yekas continued to ask. Do you even know Akatsuki? Yifeng, who are you? Uchiha Itachi shook his head and said, I never sent any information to Konoha village. Do you think I'm a spy? Nightwing nodded. Sure enough. If Itachi really is a spy, how could Konoha village have no information about pain at all? How could it even be necessary for Jiraiya to die? To be honest, Itachi has long run out of love for Konoha village. The reason why he set up a Koto Amatsukami in the later period and asked Sasuke to guard Konoha village is also because as long as Sasuke guards Konoha village, Uchiha's glory will be able to be protected. This brain hole. Also no one. Hey, it's a pity, there are stories but no wine, otherwise I would really like to have a few drinks with you. Yifeng shook his head. 107. Do we have to stay in this ghost place for 72 hours before leaving? As the caster, can't you let me out in advance? No, although Tsukuyomi is only a moment in the real world. But once Tsukuyomi is turned on, you and I have to stay here for 72 hours. Hey, well. That's it. 72 hours passed. The spirits of Yakuza and Itachi returned to the real world. Ghost Shark looked at Uchiha Itachi's left eye with a line of blood and tears, and he knew very well what it meant. But when he saw Yifeng was still standing in the same place, a surprised look appeared on the ghost's face. Mr. Itachi, under your move, he still has the strength to stand here. No wonder he can kill without cutting it. If the ability doesn't work for you, then try my Kisame Hoshigaki's sword. Swish. The ghost shark raised the big sword shark muscle high, jumped up, and slashed the top of Yifeng's head with a knife. The shark muscle has a wide range of attacks. And it is a sword with life. Yifeng didn't dare to wait and watch. He pulled out the ghost from his waist, raised his backhand, and the two famous knives collided instantly, causing a dazzling fire. See, you can actually make the shark muscle feel fearful with this knife. It seems very unusual, but you shouldn't think that the 7 people of the blade are just knife ninjas. Kisame Hoshigaki swung the broadsword vigorously, forced back Yifeng's attack. Immediately after, he began to seriously hand seal with both hands. Sweetened water style, the art of the great shark bullet. The voice fell. An oversized shark-shaped water bomb charged straight towards Yifeng. Yifeng's expression was solemn. Sweetened water style, shark rushing towards you. Shark bullet jutsu is not an ordinary sweetened water style ninjutsu. Once touched by a shark, the shark water bomb instantly absorbs the chakra of the target it touches. Either ninjutsu or ninja. That is to say, Yifeng can't use ninjutsu like the earth flow wall to resist the big shark bullet. Not only can't stop it. After the chakra in Doden, earth style, is absorbed, it will also enhance the power of the shark bullet. Want to break this trick? It must be a move that has nothing to do with chakra. For example, the blade of the night wind. Swish. Yifeng swung out a knife, and the terrifying knife swept up, directly smashing the big shark bullet of the ghost shark. After the sword force broke the ghost shark's ninjutsu, it did not completely disappear, and the remaining power continued to shroud the ghost shark. Call. The ghost shark's reaction was also very fast. He lifted the big sword shark muscle and faced Yifeng's blade. Boom. After a deafening explosion, the corner of the ghost shark's mouth twitched. Fortunately, I stopped it. But right now. ZZ, electric sound coming from behind. Reikiri. Swish. Hatake Kakashi has been hiding in the dark, waiting for this perfect opportunity to assassinate. Kakashi is known as a copy ninja though. But his most famous ability is assassination. Reikiri can activate Kakashi's cells, temporarily gaining a very fast speed. At the same time, Reikiri is also extremely penetrating. One hit. Almost instant kill. Boom. Seeing that the ghost shark has no time to avoid Kakashi's lore. At this time, Yuhi-colored Susanoo appeared and blocked Kakashi's Reikiri. Whoosh. Yuhi grabbed the ghost shark with a big hand and took him to the side of the water. Mr. Itachi, it's fortunate that I have you, otherwise I might have been shattered by him just now. Kisame Hoshigaki, who had escaped from Kakashi's hands, gasped. Since Mr. Itachi has even used this trick, then next, the two of you should be ready to die. Kakashi looked at Susanoo of Uchiha Itachi. Suddenly my throat feels dry. This big guy. Is it the true power of the Uchiha clan? This is too scary. Susanoo, Itachi, don't you really plan to fight with us in a place like this? Uchiha Itachi calmly. The ghost was lying on his chest. After these 72-hour conversations, knew a little more about Uchiha Itachi. Combined with the later pictures of Itachi washing white, Yifeng really didn't want to fight with Itachi at this time. Even Susanoo, Yifeng, I have to say, you know too many things. Hear what Itachi said. The ghost shark almost rushed out to kill it. But this time, Itachi added, Ghost shark, let's withdraw. The ghost shark was slightly taken aback. Retreat. Mr. Itachi, with the strength of the two of us, if the firepower is full, can't we kill both of them? The ghost shark was a little puzzled. Oni shark knows Uchiha Itachi's strength well. In Akatsuki, except for Madara and Pain, no one is Itachi's opponent. Even whether Pain can defeat Itachi, the ghost shark is not particularly clear. So, why run away? Yamanaka Yefeng can not only be immune to my demonic illusion, but also restrain your ability to absorb chakra, plus a copy ninja Hatake Kakashi. Our odds are not very good. What's more, this is Konoha village. It won't be long before other ninjas will come to support, so let's retreat first. Uchiha Itachi said slowly. Uchiha Itachi, Konoha village is not a place where you can come and leave whenever you want. Don't underestimate the ninjas in our Konoha village. Based on the principle that the enemy retreats and we advance. The Sharingan in Kakashi's left eye turned wildly. Lightning flashes on the right hand. Kakashi, I've never underestimated the ninjas in Konoha village, but it's a pity that the power of your eye doesn't belong to you. Civ. Uchiha Itachi had another tear of blood left in his left eye. Kakashi Kamui didn't even have time to open, and was directly dragged into Itachi's Tsukuyomi world. Tsukuyomi ends. Kakashi knelt down beside Yi Feng. Chapter 114 _ The old guys are doing it again. Tisk tisk tisk, Mr. Itachi, using Mangekyo Sharingan's ability 3 times in a row in such a short period of time is also a very dangerous thing for you. Kisame Hoshigaki gave Uchiha Itachi a sideways glance. He knew the situation of Uchiha Itachi very well. Although Itachi is very strong. But there was something wrong with his body. In general, he would not use Mangekyo's power lightly. Well, frequent use of Mangekyo does make my body overdraft. Let's go first. Uchiha Itachi removed Susanoo. The ghost shark disappeared into Yi Feng's sight. ... Tsukuyomi for the left eye, Amaterasu for the right eye. Logically speaking, these abilities are much weaker than Obito and Kakashi's Kamui. Uchiha Itachi, who disappeared, and Kakashi, and couldn't help thinking in his heart. Kamui. Left eye attack, right eye defense. If double Kamui is in hand, it must be a very stubborn existence. Such a pity. Obito didn't know if there was a hole in his brain, but he insisted on committing the crime with one eye. Otherwise, it is estimated that the ninja world has already been cleaned up by him. Yefeng, go after me, don't worry about me, my problem is not big. Hatake Kakashi didn't have a mental breakdown though. But also out of breath. The station is unsteady. It's a pity that I accidentally got into Sharingan's demonic illusion, otherwise I should have been able to fight him in half. Many things. You have to experience it to understand. The reason why Kakashi suggested Yi Feng go after Itachi and Oni Shark. The reason is simple. Demonic illusion Tsukuyomi who almost broke Kakashi's mind. What does this mean? This shows that Yi Feng is stronger than Kakashi imagined. But Yi Feng is obviously not a person who is easily blindly confident. He shook his head. No need to chase, since they have been exposed, they will never stop in the village again. I'll take you to the hospital first, and leave the rest to Anbu. I'm chasing your ferry board. Uchiha Itachi just drove a level 1 Susanoo to scare you into that. If it's really urgent. The ghost shark used the shark muscle to open a big hang for Itachi. He came directly out of Matsuri to a big Susanoo. This is the world of Gundam Ninja after all. Can't float. ... Next. Yi Feng took Kakashi to the hospital in the village. I was admitted to the VIP ward. The doctors and nurses skillfully poured nutrient solution for Kakashi. It looks like a regular here. Kind of distressing. Actually wanted to tell Kakashi to stop reading those spicy chicken books written by Jiraiya. I was already weak. I don't know how to cherish myself. Sooner or later to play. Settling in Kakashi. Yifeng told the medical ninjas in the hospital the basic situation, and asked them to notify Anbu to meet Kakashi. Then, Yifeng left the hospital as if nothing happened. When Yifeng returned to the training ground. The friends' dinner is over. But people are still talking about the ethereal stuff. What Uchiha Itachi? What Akatsuki? What Otsutsuki? The little friends have no concept at all. From their perspective, Orochimaru is already a very powerful boss. How could there be something more terrifying than him? Have to say, friends who have this idea are very happy. Because the ignorant are fearless. Yefeng, starting from tomorrow, we may also have to perform sea-level tasks, and we won't be able to see each other often in the future. Hinata leaned against Yifeng's shoulder. A look of reluctance appeared on a pretty face. Death of 3 generations of Hokage. The external pressure faced by Konoha village is great. In order not to let other villages think that Konoha village is empty, the executives of the wood industry decided to send out as many ninjas as possible to improve the execution rate of the task, so as to show other Gwoja. Our Konoha village is dead, Hokage. It's not something you can get your hands on. It is for this reason. Xiaoqiang's team finally began to go out. Performing a sea-level mission shows that everyone has grown up. Anyway, we are still young, and there will be time to get along in the future. Yifeng touched Hinata's little head. He smiled softly. Although parting is very sad. But this is the current ninja. A group of special groups who obviously have great strength, but can only work for the rich. Night Wind thinks. Sooner or later, he will change the existence value of a genin. The next day, Yifeng practiced knives alone in the training ground. Suddenly, 4 strange Anbu ninjas appeared in front of Yifeng. Yamanaka Yefeng, please follow me to the Hokage building immediately and accept the investigation of the elders, said the team leader. Under investigation. Investigate what? The Night Wind closed the knife. Sharp eyes swept across the 4 Anbu ninjas. That kind of invisible pressure made the 4 Anbu powerhouses feel very uncomfortable. I really don't understand. He is clearly a fresh graduate. How can it give people such a terrible feeling? This is the order of the 3 elders. I'm just sending an order, and I don't know the specific content. Please don't embarrass us. Anbu ninja swallowed. Said hard. Okay, I understand. Yifeng nodded. At this point in time, 5th generation Hokage has not yet been determined. So, in order to ensure that the management of Konoha village is not problematic, Danzo also became an elder. That is to say, 3rd generation Hokage just died. Did those old guys just couldn't hold back and wanted to attack him? And specially sent an Anbu team to interrogate him. It seems the hearts of those old guys are still a bit overwhelming. By Anbu Ninja, came to Hokage's office. Now, there are already many people in the office. Except for the 3 old guys. The patriarchs of the major families are basically here. Yefeng, why are you here? Yamanaka Inoichi was slightly taken aback when he saw his son suddenly come. Today is a high-level meeting in Konoha village. What is the Night Wind doing? Oh, I just received a notice from Anbu that I was asked to come over to be investigated by the elders, so here I am. Night Wind shrugged. Investigation. What kind of investigation? Yamanaka Inoichi frowned and glanced sharply at the 3 of Danzo. 3, what do you mean? On the day of the Chunin exam has been suppressed. Shimura Danzo claimed to the public that those killed were all bought by Orochimaru, and also gave Yefeng a certificate of merit from a Miyoshi genin. But take the character of Shimura Danzo. How could he let go of the night wind so easily? So, Yamanaka Inoichi immediately figured out what happened. Must be Danzo behind the scenes. Chapter 115 _ Do you still want your brains? The village was infiltrated by two S-rank missing nins yesterday. They are missing Ninuchiha Itachi from Konoha village and missing Ninkasame Hoshigaki from Kurigakure village. Hataki Kakashi, the elite of our village, fought hard to repel two missing nin for the safety of the village. But unfortunately, Kakashi was accidentally plotted by Uchiha Itachi's demonic illusion, and there was no way to stop the two missing nin himself. But Yi Feng was not injured at the time. Then, why did he let the two missing nins go? Why not go after them both? Could it be that he has some special relationship with them? That's why we called Yi Feng. Kaharu Udatane finished his words. Yamanaka Inoichi was instantly blown away. Elder Kaharu, please make your words clearer. How could I, Yi Feng, have something to do with missing nin? Yamanaka Inoichi clenched his fists. It looked as if a volcano was about to erupt. Yamanaka Inoichi is well aware of Yekazi's character. Although he is sometimes sloppy and has no formality, it is absolutely impossible for him to be related to missing nin. Inoichi, don't get excited, we know Yi Feng is your child, but we just want to investigate the matter. You can rest assured that we will never wrong any good person. Homura Mitokado said lightly. Won't you wrong a good person? Yamanaka Inoichi snorted coldly. Nothing wrongs a good man. These years. Are there still few good people wronged in Konoha village? Even ninjas like Konoha White Fang can be killed by rumors. What's more, Yi Feng is only a child. Seeing that Yamanaka Inoichi was about to get angry, Yi Feng stepped forward and patted his father's shoulder, saying, Father, don't worry too much, you'll hurt your body with anger. I'm young, so leave me alone when it comes to hating people. After Yi Feng finished speaking, he walked across from Hokage's desk. Pull out the chair. Carefully sat down. Then, Yi Feng took out an orange from behind and frowned. Why did my mother bring me oranges today? Wouldn't it be unnecessary to peel them? Yi Feng said this. The three elders snorted coldly at the same time. Last time, Yi Feng pulled a knife and cut an apple in front of everyone's face. But last time, it was Sarutobi Hiruzen who supported him. This time, no one can help him. I've heard, and you think I'm related to missing nin because I didn't stop them both, right? Yi Feng eats oranges while eating, while looking at the three old guys in front of him with disdain. Yes, why did you let them go? Kaharu Udatane gave Yi Feng a cold glance. His face was full of disgust. Even eating oranges in such a place is an understatement. It's crazy. Such disobedient people don't deserve to be a ninja in Konoha village. Threw the orange peel directly onto Hokage's desk. He took out another banana from the bag. Auntie, if I remember correctly, I'm just a genin, right? You asked me a genin to block 2 S-class missing nin. I think you must be old and confused, right? Shouldn't it be time to abdicate? Yi Feng said this. There was an instant uproar in the office. Although Yi Feng said nothing wrong. But this blatantly contradicted the elders of Konoha village. Is it really okay? Presumptuous. Arrogant. Yamanaka Yefeng, although you are only genin, as a ninja of Konoha village, you must have the consciousness to die for Konoha village. Even if you know that you are defeated, you should keep moving forward. Yeah, what level do you have in your own mind? I'll kill you if I don't kill you. Why can't you stop the ghost shark and Uchiha Itachi? That's right, I heard that when you were in the martial arts field that day, you killed the quartet. The clan chiefs of the elder faction stood up one after another like clowns jumping on the beam. Blame Yi Feng together. Face these scumbags. Yi Feng glanced at them dismissively, and sneered. Oh, going forward, then I want to ask you all, Where were you all when Hokage and Orochimaru were desperate? Why didn't I see you going forward? Hear Yi Feng's reply. The patriarchs who danced the most were slightly taken aback. Then settled down. HMPH, where are we? Do we still need a genin to report to you? Although everyone was paddling for Chan oil at the time. But this is not our family's problem. Your father Yamanaka Inoichi was paddling for Chan oil back then. What face do you have to question us? At this time, Yamanaka Inoichi finally couldn't take it anymore. Everyone, I just ask you one thing. If it was your sons who were there yesterday, would you let them stop Uchiha Itachi and Kisame Hoshigaki too? Joke. Uchiha Itachi and Kisame Hoshigaki are very dangerous characters in the ninja world. Even elites like Hatake Kakashi got caught. You actually let a kid stop them now. If it is your son. Are you willing? Faced with this kind of soul torture, the members of the elder faction began to be very skilled at wrangling. Hey, I said Yamanaka Inoichi, what everyone is talking about is your son. What are you doing with our upper body? Don't confuse the public, okay? What does it mean to be involved with you? What Inoichi asked is right. You usually protect each and every one of you very well, so why are you double standard now? Yi Feng Camp. How can this be called a double standard? Your statement is very problematic. The Elders Camp. Let's ignore what happened yesterday. Yamanaka Yefeng just disrespected the elders of Konoha village. This is also not in line with the rules of our Konoha village. The Elders Camp. That's because Yi Feng was inexplicably questioned. That's why he was a little anxious in his words. How could it be considered disrespectful? Yi Feng Camp. He's still in a hurry. You see that he just finished eating an orange, and now he's eating a banana. It seems that he has melon seeds in his bag, and he is about to take it out. Do you think he is in a hurry? The Elders Camp. Don't talk about these useless things. I, Akamichi Choza, don't think it's a big deal to eat something. Anyway, Yefeng has nothing to do with missing Nin. Yefeng Camp. Cut. Then I still think Yamanaka Yefeng is very suspicious and must be handed over to Anbu. The Elders Camp. A time. The two groups of people quarreled around Yi Feng. Hear these loud noises around you. Yi Feng stood up from the chair and motioned for the uncles and uncles who were helping him to calm down first. Then, the night breeze said lightly. You want to hand me over to Anbu? Have you asked about my ninja sword? Be careful when you're done talking, and your head has fallen off. Chapter 116 _ Can you wait until I'm done eating before hitting on you? Yi Feng's voice fell. The crowd suddenly quieted down. Everyone has heard of Yefeng's record that day. 12 root ninjas all died alive gramophone. Even these patriarchs are elite jonin, but they are also afraid of Yi Feng's swordsmanship. 3 elders, look at his arrogant appearance. Even if he has nothing to do with missing Nin now, maybe he will become missing Nin in the future. After a while. Finally, someone dared to continue fighting. After the man finished speaking, he touched his neck with a look of joy on his face. My head is still there. Don't panic. The elders looked at each other. Then, Kaharu Udatane stood up and said coldly. Yamanaka Yi Feng, no one said you must be related to missing Nin. But in any case, you have to be investigated to find out the truth. Can't you trust Anbu in Konoha village? I can't believe it. Yi Feng's answer was very straightforward. HMPH, so rampant, I don't think I'll take you to Anbu for interrogation. It's impossible to find out the truth. Homura Mitokado patted the table and was about to tell Anbu to do it. But this time, Jiraiya suddenly jumped in from the window. Uncle Menyon, I haven't seen you for a few years. How did the anger get so big? The appearance of Jiraiya disrupted the tense atmosphere in the room. He laughed, asked briefly, and then said, Everyone, I think you really think too much about this matter. In the morning, I already played against Uchiha Itachi and Kisame Hoshigaki outside the village. Even I couldn't stop them. You want Yifeng to stop them as a genin. Do you think that I, Jiraiya, are not as good as a genin? Everyone heard Jiraiya's words. Couldn't help looking at each other. Jiraiya though has broken away from Konoha village. But the name of Konoha Sannin still exists. In other words, as long as Jiraiya is willing to put on the Konoha village browguard again, he is the elite Jonin of Konoha village at any time. And he is also the strongest in Konoha village. So, for everyone's sake, who would dare to stand up and do something? Jiraiya saw that the elder faction finally quieted down. He smiled and walked to Yifeng's side and whispered. No need to thank you, just give me 10,000 new words for memes today. Night Wind shrugged. Violent Terrier. That is absolutely impossible. Not a single word. Okay, Aunt Kaharu, Uncle Menyon, don't you two look so serious. Temper is a bit stinky, but his loyalty to Konoha village is absolutely fine, which Jiraiya can guarantee. Jiraiya laughed. Although Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane don't like the Night Wind, they still approve of Jiraiya. They were entrusted by Danzo. Originally, I really wanted to use this matter to suppress Yifeng. But since Jiraiya is willing to stand up for Yifeng, that thing can only go so far. But at this time, Shimura Danzo, who had not spoken for a while, suddenly stood up. He walked to the window, looked at the Hokage rock outside, and said lightly. Hey, look, this is the result of the village without Hokage. It's just a small thing, you almost split into two factions. If Hiruzen saw this situation today, I really don't know how he would feel. Yifeng frowned. Thumbs up for Danzo. Your Shimura Danzo's acting skills, Yamanaka Yifeng would like to call you the strongest. The village cannot be without a shadow for a day. Everyone knows this. But want to elect Hokage, easier said than done. The big name is easy to say. Although Konoha village has to rely on the financial support of the daimyo. But that doesn't mean the village of Konoha will be swayed by the Fire Country daimyo. Let the daimyo participate in the Hokage selection. That's just to give the big name a face. If he dares to intervene too much, I'm afraid it's not far from death. But want to be Hokage. In addition to the symbolic consent of the daimyo, approval from most of the Jonin is required. This is not an easy task. Now, the village is in ruins. Konoha high level in order to promote the prestige of my village. Most of the Jonin were sent out to farm. Wanted to bring them together to vote for Hokage. Still need some work. And if the nominee is not endorsed by most of the Jonin, had to trouble again afterward. So, 5th generation Hokage candidate has not been determined yet. Because there are no suitable candidates, no one can guarantee that they can get the approval of most Jonin. I think at this time, we can no longer stick to the previous rules. It is absolutely impossible for the village to have no Hokage. I suggest that Senior Danzo should directly serve as the Hokage. A patriarch from the Danzo faction stood up directly. The man's proposal was just finished. A few more people started to join in. The other two elders glanced at each other. Shimura Danzo has known them all his life. Of course they knew that Danzo always wanted to be Hokage. It used to be because Hiruzen was alive. So Danzo has no chance. Now Hiruzen is dead. Also be a good choice to succeed Hokage by Danzo. Because of that, the status of their two elders will also be more consolidated. Then, the two also stood up. Expressed support for Danzo. As the saying goes, we must follow the right. Since the current situation is special, and there is no better candidate for everyone, I think it is better to follow the meaning of the Yamashima Patriarch, and Shimura Danzo will directly succeed the 5th generation Hokage. Homura Mitokado said. This moment, the atmosphere in the room began to become extremely solemn. No one would have thought that they would take advantage of Yifeng's matter and come up with a plan for Danzo to directly succeed Hokage. although many people have objections in their hearts. But no one was willing to take the initiative to stand up against it. To be honest, case Danzo does become Hokage in the future, those who oppose him now will inevitably be settled by Choho. Danzo was very satisfied when he saw everyone's silence. He was about to pretend to be polite. But this time, Yifeng suddenly said, "Don't worry everyone, let me finish this bunch of grapes first." Chimura Danzo narrowed his eyes. There was a gloomy look in his eyes. Before, Sarutobi Hiruzen knows the swipe from day to night. Now, this Yamanaka Yefeng has been eating fruit. The two are just as disgusting. The last grape is eaten. Night Wind said. That, although I don't know what this senior Danzo did before, I don't know why these two elders recognize him so much. But, when Orochimaru attacked Konoha village, I didn't see Danzo coming out to kill the enemy, nor did I see these two elders coming out to kill the enemy. So, I don't think the three of you are qualified to vote for Hokage. Chapter 117 _ What contributions have you made to the village? Danzo's acceptance speech had already been drafted. Just waiting for the feeling to be brewed, and then performing it with emotion. But he never thought of it. At times like this, Yamanaka Yefeng would even jump out to object. And the arrogance is so arrogant. What the hell are you? We're talking about the Hokage candidate in Konoha village. How dare you point fingers as a genin? It's so unruly. Homura Mitokado pointed at Yifeng's nose angrily. Almost hit the Night Wind. Then, Sword, moved Homura Mitokado's fingers aside, and said lightly. Old guy, in addition to being a genin, I'm also the future chief of the Yamanaka clan. Can't I speak out on behalf of the Yamanaka clan? Also, if you dare to point your finger at me next time, don't blame me for being rude to you. Hear the warning of the Night Wind. Homura Mitokado felt a chill in his heart. But, could he be frightened by a genin? Humph, you represent the Yamanaka clan. Yamanaka Inoichi, that's how you discipline your son. Homura Mitokado glanced at Yamanaka Inoichi. Just a little kid. Still want to represent a family. Just kidding. But, the next reply from Yamanaka Inoichi surprised him. Yefeng is right, he is the son of my Yamanaka Inoichi, and he can naturally represent the attitude of the Yamanaka family. His opinion is mine. After speaking, Yamanaka Inoichi stood behind Yeka's. Eyes fixed. Yamanaka Inoichi, you're fooling around, Kaharu Udatane gasped. Naughty. The three elders, Nara, Yamanaka, and Akamichi have always been in the same spirit. Inoichi's attitude is also Ino Shikacho's attitude. We also support Yefeng. Nara Shikaku and Akamichi Choza also stood behind Yifeng. See this scene. Aburame Jawei and Inazuka Jin glanced at each other, and also stood silently beside Ino Shikacho. The meaning was self-evident. This kid, it's not in vain that the three generations valued him so much, and it's not in vain that Hinata likes him so much, he is really good. A warm feeling rose in Hugahiyashi's heart. Also standing behind Yifeng. 6 major families have deep roots in Konoha village. Have them for Yefeng platform. Those wallheads also began to stand up one after another to echo. After all, except for the Danzo faction, no one really wants to give the village to him, the darkness of Konoha. See this scene. Jiraiya touched her chin with a slight smile. This kid is so popular. If he publishes a book in the future, it will definitely explode. After all, he has his own traffic. Chimura Danzo looked at Yifeng coldly. It was already a sure thing. I was actually slapped by this kid. It just doesn't make sense. But, although Chimura Danzo has a fire in his heart, in front of everyone, he can't be as low as other people. After all, we are terrific people. Chimura Danzo walked back to Hokage's desk, looked around everyone for a week, and said lightly. Yamanaka Yefeng is right. With the virtue and ability of this old man, it may not be enough to hold the position of Hokage. But right now, although Konoha Village is the largest village in the ninja world, there is no Hokage in town. This is an autumn that is in danger of survival. Although the old man is not talented, he is also a disciple of the second generation of Hokage and the right-hand man of the third generation of Hokage. For the future of Konoha Village, for the overall situation of Konoha Village, this old man is willing to temporarily take on the burden of Hokage and lead everyone to tide over this difficult time together. After the crisis in Konoha Village is over, the old man will be disarmed and return to the field, and he will live a peaceful rural life in those years. Shimura Danzo sighed after finishing speaking. Feelings are quite full. It's like he doesn't like doing Hokage at all. But for the village, he had to do the same. After Danzo spoke, there was sparse applause in the office. Sir Danzo said it well. Learn from Danzo-sama. Please don't disarm, Lord Danzo, Konoha Village needs you. To this, smiled disdainfully, pointed at Danzo's nose with the handle of the knife and asked, "Can you take on this burden? Let me ask you first, what outstanding contributions have you made to Konoha Village over the years?" Hear Yi Feng's question. A look of pride appeared on Shimura Danzo's face. Ask for contributions. The contribution made by the old man is definitely much more than Sarutobi Hiruzen. But, when Danzo was about to speak, he suddenly felt that he didn't know what to say. How can he describe the merits he has made? Controlling the rumors killed Konoha White Fang and maintained the ninja's awe of the mission. The Uchiha clan to turn back, through the Uchiha annihilation case, and removing the thorns in the eyes of the top executives of the wood industry. Support Orochimaru to conduct human experiments, transplant a first-generation cell arm studded with Sharingan for himself, and promote the high-level combat power of Konoha Village. With Orochimaru, kill Sarutobi Hiruzen, and push Konoha Village forward. There seems to be no way to say it outright. Saw that Danzo was hesitant to speak, so he despised. Isn't it? Can't you say one thing? Even a genin like me can say that if I kill it or not, it will increase the popularity of Konoha Village. If you haven't done anything, then why do you do Hokage? The old man is the leader of genin. Is an organization hidden under the big tree Konoha. Genin's actions are beyond the comprehension of those of you who live in glory. Danzo condensed. If there is no old man doing those invisible things in secret, do you think Konoha Village will be as beautiful as it is now? Can you give us a specific introduction? Can't. Then, if you can't even give a specific credit, I think you should give up the competition for Hokage. In fact, I think Jiraiya is a good candidate. Yi Feng said lightly. Yulong Angelica C. The sea does not welcome him. Jiraiya is one of the Sannin of Konoha Village. 3 generations of Hokage. 4 generations of Hokage. Neither identity nor ability has to be said. Of course. Also knew that Jiraiya was not interested in Hokage's seat. But selection of Tsunade as Hokage would be more powerful if Jiraiya personally proposed it. Really? That Jiraiya be the Hokage? Many people whispered. Obviously. Compared with Danzo, Jiraiya is more inclined to Jiraiya. Yi Feng, you may not know my personality very well. I prefer to live a free and easy life. I'm not suitable for Hokage. Chapter 118 I'm here to find you a big fat sheep. After Jiraiya finished speaking, she touched the back of her head a little embarrassedly. This stinky boy really dares to say it. Want him to do Hokage. If he becomes the Hokage of Konoha Village, then what will he do in the future? If not available, wouldn't his life be lacking a lot of fun? Isn't this messing with me? If Jiraiya hadn't known that Yi Feng was better at writing that kind of stuff, he might have thought it was a conspiracy by his peers against him. But, although Jiraiya has constant slander in her heart, but everyone seemed to agree with Yi Feng's proposal. Jiraiya had to move Tsunade out. But, although I'm not suitable for Hokage, I have a good candidate to suggest to everyone. She is Princess Tsunade, who shares the name of Sanin with me. Jiraiya recommended. Tsunade not only has the name of Sanin, but is also the direct descendant of the Senju clan. If she is the Hokage, must be able to blow the long stagnant windmill of Konoha. This Jiraiya is confident. Tsunade. Senju Tsunade. That big fat sheep in the gambling world. Is she really okay? It is said that she has traveled all over the world, and we don't even know where she is. Danzo fans questioned. But, under Jiraiya's cold eyes, their questioning voice is not particularly strong. Uncle Menyon, Aunt Kaharu, you know Tsunade very well. If even she is not qualified to be a Hokage, I don't think anyone here is qualified to be a Hokage. Jiraiya smiled softly. Yes, what Jiraiya said makes sense, and we support Tsunade as the 5th generation Hokage as well. Yi Feng, representing the 6 major families behind him, raised their hands in approval. Now, on this balance of the 5th generation Hokage candidate, because of the intervention of Jiraiya and Yi Feng, the chips in Danzo's hands instantly dimmed. Instead of making the darkness of Konoha Hokage, better to have the new granddaughter of the original Hokage be the Hokage. To know. Although the Senju family has been integrated into the entire Konoha village, but Tsunade still has a high prestige among these people. Danzo, what do you think? Kaharu Udatane frowned. There was nothing wrong with Jiraiya's proposal. But Shimura Danzo's opinion still needs to be listened to. After all, we are all old buddies. HMPH, I don't think anyone knows where Tsunade is. If everyone can't find Tsunade, is the seat of Hokage always empty? Shimura Danzo snorted coldly and said the key point. Jiraiya is rambunctious by nature. Tsunade's whereabouts are unknown. Danzo never saw them as his opponents. This is. Jiraiya touched her chin. He didn't take the initiative to propose Tsunade as Hokage at first. Just worry about this. Tsunade's whereabouts are erratic. If you can't find it for a long time, Hokage in Konoha village can't stay vacant either. But this time, Yi Feng raised his hand again. 1 month, as long as you give me 1 month, I can find Tsunade. Yi Feng said confidently. You. A month. Danzo narrowed his eyes and looked at Yi Feng coldly. You're nothing but a junior. It's estimated that if you meet Tsunade face to face, you may not be able to recognize her. Nightwind shrugged. Just that pair of bright Menganiu. I won't recognize it. You underestimate Tsunadeheim too. Well, Yi Feng and I are going to find it together. If we can't find Tsunade after a month, Jiraiya won't interfere with the 5th generation Hokage. Jiraiya said. Okay, it's a deal. Shimura Danzo's eyes were gloomy. Isn't it just a month? It passed in a blink of an eye. By the time. As long as Tsunade can't find it, Jiraiya quits meddling in the Hokage election. Then no one can stop the old man from becoming Hokage. ... When Yi Feng came out of Hokage's office, it was already dark. There are still important things to discuss at the top. So, Yamanaka Inoichi did not leave with Yi Feng. Ye Feng, a month, are you really sure? Jiraiya walked beside Yi Feng. His face was a little dignified. To be frank, it's been a long time since Jiraiya heard from Tsunade. He though asked himself to be able to find Tsunade. But, would only 1 month be too short? Don't worry, I have my channel. I will start early tomorrow morning, and I will find Tsunade in less than a month. Yi Feng put his hands behind his head indifferently. It looks very relaxing. Isn't that just looking for Tsunade? Go directly to Short Book Street to play for 10.5 months. Play enough. The big fat sheep should almost appear. Leftover. Just follow the script once. Konoha Village. In a spooky underground building. Shimura Danzo's face was gloomy and cold, looking at the various spoils on the wall. His face was murderous. Yamanaka Yefeng. He actually dared to destroy the good deeds of the old man over and over again. I think he is impatient. Danzo said coldly. Lord Danzo, do you want your subordinates to follow Yefeng, and when he leaves the village, we will kill him? Said a masked root ninja. HMPH, if that kid was so easy to kill, the old man would have already done it, not to mention that he is still on the road with Jiraiya this time, so don't be self-defeating. Danzo snorted coldly. Although he didn't want to admit it. But have to say. The strength of the night wind is very strong. At least Danzo didn't have the confidence to kill Yifeng without revealing his secrets. Jiraiya next to him. Even Danzo can't beat Jiraiya. Keep an eye on Yamanaka Yefeng. If he can really find Tsunade, he will send the news to Orochimaru as soon as possible. I believe Orochimaru must be more interested in these two people. In a tavern in the village of Konoha. Jiraiya and Yifeng are drinking small wine. The faces of the two were slightly yuhi. Although there are not many dishes. But it's pretty fun to drink. I think you still don't want to go with me. You tell me your source, and I'll just go find Tsunade myself, so that Danzo and the others don't use sleight of hand behind their backs. Jiraiya looked at Yifeng and persuaded. It's not necessary, isn't it, Genin? Come one and I'll kill the other, come one pair and I'll kill the other. Also, when did you have the illusion that I need your protection from Jiraiya to get out of Konoha village? Yifeng raised his head and took a sip of wine. Take the amount of chakra of the night wind. On Byakugan is almost equivalent to no consumption. Coupled with the secret arts of the Yamanaka family, it can enhance perception. So, Genin wants to ambush Yifeng. That is absolutely delusional. Chapter 119 _ This bad old man is very bad. Has now mastered the 5 elements of ninjutsu, wind, fire, water, earth, and yin. Plus a ghost knife. A flat cut that has been cultivated to ultimate. Just rely on that little background of Shimura Danzo. He was naturally fearless. Tisk tisk tisk, you're too good at pretending, right? Jiraiya shook her head. Did 6 years of compulsory ninja education. Just taught you how to pretend. But it stands to reason that this kid has only graduated from the ninja school a few months ago, right? How can it be so strong? This is totally unscientific. Did I pretend? Yifeng spread out his hands and said indifferently, I just want to express that I will cut anyone who dares to provoke me. It's not pretending, I never pretend. Cut, you bastard. Jiraiya glanced at Yifeng speechlessly. Jiraiya knew from the beginning that the night wind was strong. After all, he can kill Teodi without cutting it. Regardless of whether that incident was a tactical fluke or not, it all meant that Yifeng had certain strength. Then, when they were practicing psychic techniques, refreshed Jiraiya's understanding of Yifeng's strength. Jiraiya has never seen human swordsmanship that can resist the slash of Toad Bunta. Although after that knife, Yifeng's face turned pale, chakra consumed too much. But the power of that knife is absolutely indescribable. After that, outside the 4 purple flame array, 3 teams of Anbu ninjas lightly. And knives are all alive and leaving a sound. Simply a show. And after the 4 purple flame formation, Yefeng is like a god of death, beheading countless enemy ninjas. But there is no trace of chakra overdraft. To now, Yifeng able to resist Uchiha Itachi's demonic illusion. To know that Tsukuyomi shot made Kakashi lie in the hospital and couldn't get out of bed until now. All in all, Night Breeze gave Jiraiya the feeling. He keeps getting stronger. The speed is too fast. It's like it's hung up. And that's it just now. That makes Jiraiya most jealous is that Yifeng's novel is so expressive. whenever the night is quiet. When Jiraiya thought of Bai Mumu, his throat felt dry and unbearable. Level like this. It simply crushed him a few streets. In the future, he would never dare to say that he stood at the top of the novel world. People are really more mad than people. The two chatted while drinking. Suddenly, Jiraiya glanced at the shadows in the distance, a weird smile on her face. Boy, if I have nothing else to do, I'll go first, and I advise you not to waste resources, it's very dangerous to go out this time. So there are some things, you should experience it in advance and experience it, haha. Jiraiya laughed at Yifeng with a haha. Then got up and left. Yifeng silently shook his head. Bad old man. I always feel that my good boy will be spoiled by him sooner or later. So, if Yifeng becomes bad in the future, it must be Jiraiya's fault. After Jiraiya left, Mitarashi Anko came out of the shadows, sitting beside Yifeng. Little devil, you dared to drink so much alcohol in the middle of the night just after you scolded those three old guys. Are you dying? Anko looked at the pile of empty jugs in front of Yifeng. I couldn't help shaking my head. News of the game spreads fast. Anko had just returned from a mission, and after learning that Yifeng was almost overshadowed by an old thing, he immediately started looking for Yifeng everywhere. But Anko never expected it. Yifeng is still drinking like a normal person here. Don't worry Anko, I, Yamanaka Yifeng, can't pour 1,000 cups without getting drunk. If Danzo dares to come, I won't cut off his dog's head. Yifeng laughed. Cut, it's gone, stinky boy. Anko put away the jug in front of Yifeng, poured him a bowl of sober soup, and said, hurry up and drink it, and I'll take you home after drinking it. Yifeng smiled. Obediently drank Anko's hangover soup. Then, the two walked towards the Yamanaka clan together. Yifeng, you have to be careful when you go out this time. I think they are likely to do something secretly. On the way, Anko kept reminding Yifeng. Don't worry, it's okay, Jiraiya is following anyway. If Jiraiya and I can't deal with Danzo together, then I'm not careful, it's meaningless. Yifeng laughed. Shimura Danzo is sure to get things done. But he also has to have that ability. Just based on Shimura Danzo Susano's knowledge, Yifeng was sure that he couldn't come up with anything. Don't be careless. It's okay to be careful anyway. Anko glared at Yifeng. This stinky boy. Always so condescending. Okay, just be careful. But speaking of it, that bad old man in Jiraiya likes to go to those Kazuhana places to be at ease. For my own safety, should I follow his footsteps closely? Yifeng said solemnly, touching his chin. Damn it, you bastard. Can't you let that lousy old man go to those rotten places? I can't, I'm not his father. I'm mad at me. Ding. You have a new check-in task, please pay attention to check it. Early in the morning. Yifeng was not fully awake yet. The system's task prompt sounded in Yifeng's mind. I'm leaving the village with Jiraiya today. You're giving me a task now, so should I go or not? Yifeng shook his head. Open the task panel of the pit cargo system. After reading the task introduction on the panel, Yifeng frowned. System, you are not a pit, you are deliberately trying to contradict me. You just want to toss me to death, right? Check-in location for this mission is the succession ceremony of Hokage, the 5th generation of eyes. Seems perfect. But the task time is only half a month. Half a month. According to Yifeng's memory, Tsunade will go to Tansoji soon though. But is half a month too stressful? Is it difficult to give up the mission? But based on past experience, once the task fails, the refresh rate of the next task can become very slow. Alas, this crap system. Yifeng had breakfast with his family. Ino went on a mission with Asuma outside the village and didn't return. This meal was just Yifeng and his parents. Yifeng, don't be too stressed out this time, even if you can't find Princess Tsunade, we're not afraid of Shimura Danzo. Yamanaka Inoichi said confidently, we Ino Shikacho are not as easy to deal with as Uchiha. Chapter 120 We Ino Shikacho are not afraid of Shimura Danzo. Well, I understand. Nightwing nodded. The overall combat power of the Uchiha clan is very high. But their way of life is not good. Make enemies everywhere in the village. The reputation is very bad. Even if they were exterminated, no one would speak for them. But Ino Shikacho is different. Their 3 tribes are of the same spirit. Now it is very close to the Hyuga, Aburame, and Inazuka clans. Not afraid of the power of the elders at all. Not to mention the next generation of Ino Shikacho's mentor Jonin is Sarutobi Asuma. This also greatly deepened the relationship between Ino Shikacho and the Sarutobi clan. Want to attack Ino Shikacho? It's not that easy. Yes, son, if you encounter danger outside, don't be brave. Stupid wood, smoke bombs, use them as you need them, don't save them, we have them. Also, be sure to follow Jiraiya closely after you go out. With his protection, it will be safe enough. Mother also instructed Yifeng earnestly. Well, don't worry, I'll go first. Yifeng smiled and wiped his mouth, pinned the ninja sword behind his waist, and left the house. Children travel thousands of miles, and parents are worried. Very normal. But living under the protection of his parents is not the life Yifeng wants to pursue. In such a world, the training of life and death is a necessary course. Village head. Jiraiya looked like it should have arrived early. He is waiting for the night wind. Hey Yifeng, I suddenly thought about taking Naruto with me. Jiraiya greeted Yifeng and explained. When I played against Uchiha Itachi, I found out that their target was Kyuubi, Ninetales, inside Naruto, and I felt it was safer to take him with me. Jiraiya doesn't hide that Naruto is a Kyuubi, Ninetales person Jinchuriki column force. After all, Yifeng is the young master of the big family. How could he not know this secret? Well, you're right, Kakashi is bedridden, and I heard that Sasuke was also hammered by his brother. In this situation, it is not safe for Naruto to stay in the village by himself. Night Wind said. Naruto used to be covered with Hokage. So, security issues are nothing. But now 3 generations of Hokage are dead. If you leave Naruto behind, hell knows what Danzo will do to him. And Yifeng also needs Naruto to be with them. After all, wanted Tsunade back to succeed Hokage. Except to find her. Had to deal with Tsunade's hyperphobia. So, Naruto's mouth escape is essential. Well, that's fine, I'm going to discuss with the elders now. You go to Naruto and bring him along. Jiraiya said. Okay, Yifeng nodded. The two briefly discussed it. Then, split into action. Yifeng came to Naruto's house. At this time, Naruto had just woken up and was still in bed. Ah, it's Yifeng, morning, what's the matter with me? Naruto asked listlessly. Yesterday, Uchiha Itachi, who brought Kakashi-sensei to the hospital bed, also brought Sasuke to the hospital bed. This made Naruto very unhappy. So, stayed up all night. Well, there is an S-level mission. Jiraiya and I are going to take you to do it together, are you interested? Yifeng laughed. Huh, S-class. As soon as Naruto heard the mission level, immediately, he jumped up from the bed excitedly. Great, I can finally do my S-class mission. Gotta get some oil. That's right. I, Uzumaki Naruto, will do Hokage in the future.